All right, I'm here with Clare's PODGE Collins. PODGE, your message out there from the GPA today was pretty stark. Proposal B is very much what this organisation wants.
Yeah, and I think nearly Proposal A has nearly been put to bed by nearly every stakeholder, even the fixture task force that put it out there. I think for a finish, kind of put that to bed. So it really is Proposal B or the status quo. And like from when you put out something like a new proposal, people are going to pick holes in it. They're going to try find flaws in it, and that's just natural. But like if you started picking flaws in the status quo, like it's very hard for someone outside, let's say the GA, to even comprehend how it operates with regards to like you talk about having a fair competition. There's just so many holes in it. So I think this is definitely better, and it's better for our games going forward. And I think as soon as it comes in, there's no way it could, like, even if it's a 3-year, let's say, trial period, it'll only develop. There might be a few tweaks and stuff to get it perfect, but I think it definitely is the way forward.
Is there a particular element of it that you're having frustration with when it comes to persuading people who don't want Proposal B?
I suppose I probably already said it today now in the press conference, but the 3 teams that finish at the bottom of Division 1, from teams I've talked to and players I've talked to from outside Clare, they'd be in that kind of area, let's say, when they finish the league or finish championship, that feel like, oh, they'd be hard done by if they finish 6th and the winners of Division 4 have as a good a chance. But like, do they deserve to be, will they win the All-Ireland if they're finishing 6th in Division 1? And that's the main point I've come back with. The other one is the whole, if you win the Tailteann Cup, you get promoted, and someone, let's say, that finishes 2nd in Division 3 mightn't get promoted, or same with Division 4. And then my argument to that is that if you top Division 3 or Division 4, you're going up anyway, and then if you win the Tailteann Cup, you're going up as well. So there's 3 guaranteed positions. It's in your control. Like, you might be unlucky in a given year, but the likelihood of it happening is very small as well. And like, they're 2 arguments that have come up a good bit. But like, and then you've the other one. Then when you go back to, let's say, let's say league finals is a tough one, because it's one I actually do, like, let's say it resonates with me, because one of my best days with Clare was when beating Kildare in Dublin in a league final, and that was very enjoyable. But there's no argument not to say like that we could end up with like a week of league finals to win the league, but you're going to win or to win the championship league, but you're going to end up, let's say the top team will win that championship league anyway, and there probably will be a trophy for that, so you still have that element there. And like, the pros far outweigh the cons. Like, if I was to be nitpicking, they're the kind of stuff I'd go after, but like the fact that you're going to end up with 7 competitive championship games in the height of the summer, like, it just completely changed the mindset of every inter-county player from what I can see. It just, like, from going from that whole mind frame of where teams might think, okay, the league's over now, we probably won't win Sam Maguire, it's going to be tough to win Sam Maguire, our year is pretty much over after the league. You're going to 7 competitive championship games, home and away. It gives you an extra buzz. Like, anyone that has doubts of, will I play this year and won't play this year, I think they're even more leaning towards playing this year because of this proposal. I think it reinvigorates the championship, and ultimately you'll have like players, stakeholders, fans, like everyone involved in GA. It's just a better product. So I think it can't help but be positive.
On a Clare specific level then, Podge, you get asked quite a lot about the fact that you come up against Kerry every so often. It's bad luck sometimes, but naturally you come up against them quite a lot. We were speaking to the Sligo chairman this morning, actually, and he was saying that this new provincial championship will allow them another crack the following week. So you guys can play Kerry, but you'll get a crack off Limerick and Waterford and Tip and Cork as well. Kerry won't define your Munster championship.
Yeah, and like, that's a great point. As in, we went down to Clarny this year and took a heavy beating, and that's the end of our year. And like, as a Clare player, it's very demoralising when you're going away and you've a long winter to think about that. Now, fortunately, I'm with a club that's very competitive in hurling and football, and I'm very fortunate that that's the case. But maybe like for clubs that are intermediate or junior and maybe not competing at senior, it can be a very long winter thinking about how disappointing that year was. So this just kind of opens up the door to a completely different mindset. You've every year going away from it, you'll probably actually be taking a lot more from it than a hammering by Kerry down in Kerry, as what happened to us this year. And we weren't the only ones that fell victim to that. But yeah, it's just like, how, as a Clare player going away this year, if you're coming back to that again next year, it'd be very hard. Players could be like, it's a very hard to, like, you obviously want to compete against the likes of Kerry, and when we do get them in Cusack Park, we do compete well against them, and we haven't turned them over. But yeah, it's obviously something that we definitely be thinking about in Clare.
How do you make sure that this message becomes a message that is effectively communicated to the powers that be, the people that will actually be making the decision on the 23rd of October?
I suppose finding out who has the say at Special Congress and having a chat with them around it. And like, I find with some with some decisions that are made, let's say at a higher level, let's say than players level, or the key stakers in the GAA, the people that have the final say, sometimes there is this, let's say, players versus like delegates, and players versus the provincial councils. But I don't think this is the case with this, and I hope it isn't framed like that. Even from the GPA having a press conference today, like, I hope it's not framed like that. It should be framed around the GPA put a fixtures task force in place to make changes and improve the championship for everyone. And now we've got a product which we think as players improves it. And there was a lot of like people from different backgrounds on that committee to do that. So I just think that everyone has skin in the game. They've developed something that's better than what the status quo is. So I don't see, it's not, let's say, players versus delegates or whatever. So it's just important to find out who has the say, who are the delegates that have the say, like in each county, and trying to get the players to maybe have a chat with them. I see if they have any concerns or apprehensions about it, and just explain the positives from a player's point of view and the future of the game's point of view.